And for us to feed our souls, because a lot of people don't feed their souls, and two people are negotiating for our souls. God is negotiating for our souls, and the devil is also negotiating for our souls. And we also discover that the main subject and the main message that Jesus brought to mankind, he said, what shall it profit a man if he gain the whole world and lose his soul? We saw that in Mark chapter 8, verses 36 and 37. And he said, what can you use in exchange of your souls? That means our soul is very, very important, very vital, and you have to feed it. And I told you last week Sunday, we are in a great perilous time because of the social media. The social media, not that it's not good, it's good, but if you weigh the disadvantages and the advantages, you realize that some people, their lives are being corrupted because of the social media. Many are using it for their evil gain. And that's the medium the devil is getting to people. And that's why Jesus too called himself a mediator. Because Satan, media is the medium, is the mediator. But that's why Jesus Christ said the soul is very important. You remember he said in Mark 13 verse 30, Mark 12:30, he says you love the Lord with all your heart, with all your mind, and your soul. It's about your soul. If your soul is okay, everything about your life will be okay. But if there is problem with somebody's soul, then you'll see it. Your life will be a zigzag life. I pray that you learn from all these things. And I'm glad that the youth now are coming very early, especially those who want to move forward. Because it's not good for you to be stagnant in life. Because moving forward is very, very important. And it's essential in our lives. Now let's look at another thing this morning. I came with a voice of consolation this morning. And I'm talking on a subject, encouragement. Encouragement. I want to take my text from the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 30. And let's read what happened. Because a lot of people are discouraged now. Many things are happening now that is making a lot to be discouraged. May I use this medium to let you know you have to encourage yourself if you want to survive in these last days. Even if you don't have anybody to encourage you, you yourself must try your best to encourage yourself. Because a lot of people, they have lost hope, no more zeal, no more energy to move forward. Because the moment discouragement sets in, there is no way you can make a change. There is no way achievement can come. There is no way you can do mighty things in life. The person will just be stagnant. Let's look at David. When he took some people to the war fronts, and what happened, and we start to use that, and also look at our life, our environment, and what is going on in the world now. The world now, you can see that everywhere there is pandemonium, one thing or the other. Is either economic problem, if it's not economic problem, either social problem. If it's not social problem, is either marital problem. If it's not marital problem, is either maybe the children, is either maybe your job, some certain things are going on now that is making so many Christians to be weak. And some people, the devil started putting things in their mind. When you are serving God and all these things are happening to you, all these things are going to happen. But you are going to overcome based on one thing. Based on the way you encourage yourself. Can't you see Jesus Christ? Anytime you want to talk to people that are in difficult situation, the first thing he will say, don't be afraid, just believe. Because he knew that as long as you are living on earth, on this planet earth, there are so many things that will happen. You witness many things. Some will betray you. You will hear things that will make you to be broken. Some will do things that will pinch you and pain you to your bone marrow. Some will step on you. All kinds of things. Your name will be soiled. All kinds of things will happen. Then how can you lift up your head in this type of life or world where so many things are going on? You cannot just because of that commit suicide. Many commit suicide just because they don't see people who can encourage them. Encouragement is what every one of us needs now. Because economy had failed. Whether you like it or not, don't let the mathematicians and the people who are talking with big grammar deceive you. Economy has failed. What is it that has not failed? Even all over the world, the people we relied upon, they have failed us. Who will not fail you? Only God. That's why I was telling you, I was so much amazed on Friday, and I was highly impressed with people, how the turn up was. A lot of people are now saying God as that's the only place I can run to now. I want to tell you one thing. The more you live, the more you see so many things. But how can you be strong in a society, in a world that everything has been turned upside down? Unemployment rate is so high. People cannot boast of money like the way they were boasting of money 10 years ago. Some people cannot live the way they were living 5 years ago again. Flood has taken over some people's houses. Some are relocating back to their villages. Many institutions, many companies have been closed down. Letters of redundancy has been issued out to so many people, not only in Ghana, all over the world. I was looking at the statistic. America, they were showing the statistic of how vibrant Christians were in year 2009 and compared to 2019. The thing has dropped drastically. And if it's not only in America, if you look at 10 years ago, how people are going to churches, and look at the rate of how people are attending churches now, it has dropped. There is vast difference. What happened? Discouragement has set in. Even some pastors have made some people to feel that, is it true that all these things that the pastors are saying, is it true? Are they not playing on our intelligence? Some are fed up with the word church. That's why in Botswana, the president of Botswana said, I don't want to hear anything about religion anymore. Some nations want to close down all churches. They don't even want to talk about religion anymore because they said it's making their people to become lazy and become so backward. What can we do now? When discouragement sets in, you can't forge ahead again in life. Even if ideas are coming, as long as you are discouraged, that is where the idea will die. But let me take you into the Bible and see for yourself that what we are witnessing now is not now. It has been there from inception. Let's first of all consider David, 1 Samuel chapter 30, from verse 1. And let's see what happened. Tell your neighbor, don't be discouraged again. Praise God. And it came to pass when David and his men were come to Ziklag on the third day that the Amalekite had invaded the south and Ziklag, and smitten Ziklag and burned it with fire. Then verse 2. And had taken the women captives, and that were daring. They slew not any. We thank God for that. Either great or small, but carried them away and went on their way. Verse 3. So David and his men came to the city, and behold, it was burned with fire. Their wives, their sons, and their daughters were taken captives. Verse 5. Look at what happened. Then David, that's verse 4. Then David and the people that were with him lifted up their voices and wept until they had no more power to weep. Discouragement set in. Everything, the city they left before moving out, everything were intact. They returned back, they burned the city. Their wives, their children have been taken captives. They resulted into crying. They wept. They just kept on crying. But the Bible made us to understand David was a courageous person. And let's see the next verse. And David's two wives were taken captives. Ahinoam, the Jezreelite, and Abigail, the wife of Nabal the Carmelite. And David was greatly distressed, for the people spoke of stoning him because of the soul of all the people were grieved. Was grieved, sorry. Every man for his own son and for his daughter. But David encouraged himself in the Lord his God. That was what changed all the circumstances. Is there no man here under the sound of my voice this morning, or woman here, that he or she is not discouraged? Many of us are discouraged. So many things had happened for the past few years, even since last year or the beginning of this year. Things are not working the way some people plan. Some discouraged men have sent them to the cemetery. Some died. May I use this medium to speak to you? The race is an individual race. It's not a collective race. The day you start to think that it's a collective race, you'll be left behind. But the day you discover that it's an individual race that you must run yourself, you will encourage yourself and you get to your destination. Take a look at Joseph. What made him to survive? The turmoil, the evil plan, evil machination that his own brothers fashioned against him. First of all, he had a dream, he shared his dream, and he thought by sharing his dream, his own people will accepted it and started to give credence, and started to give benevolence, and started to praise him, not knowing that that was the beginning of his trouble. And they started to plan that we must kill him. But how did he survive? Even though the Bible did not use the word encouragement in the area of Joseph, but you can see that Joseph, he must have developed a mechanism in himself that irrespective of what happened, I will not take it and I will not carry it on my head. I will keep on to encourage myself. Many of us seated here, many a times, a lot of things happens to us. We carry it on our heads. We allow it to weigh us down. We allow it to disturb us. All those things that you encounter are bound to happen. That is what we call life. May I use the word for you this morning? Many a times we don't understand, and some people who are preaching to us, they don't tell us the truth. Life will never pamper you. Whosoever tells you that life will pamper you is a lie. Take a look at Joseph. Did life pamper him? His own people sold him into slavery. That was the beginning. From slavery, he found himself as a slave. He thought he can also add a succor at Potiphar's house. The woman also, the devil entered into the woman, and the woman said, okay, you must be having a love affairs with me. He resisted. He landed in prison. If you are in his shoe, what will have happened? Many of us, many a times, we say, God has spoken to me when I wanted to, and I wanted to do what the Lord has said. There are so many problems. So I don't think it's the Lord who has spoken. It's God who has spoken. But the devil is the one that is trying to bring discouragement, so that because the moment you are discouraged, you cannot forge ahead. Wake up to who you are now. Every man, every woman under the sound of my voice. Whosoever tells you that life will treat you fairly is a lie. You must develop a very, very tough, thick skin. It can come from any angle. The wave of discouragement can come from anywhere. At times, we always focus on some certain area that this is where the wave of discouragement will come. You don't know where the wave will come from. That same Joseph, that God who had a dream, now found himself at the four walls of the prison again. But I believe that Joseph did not allow all those things to weigh him down. The day you allow all the problems and the circumstances going on in your environment to weigh you down, that is the day you are signing for a setback. Tough times do come. Tough people always last. They don't give up. tough time will come. You leave Ghana, you want to go and live in another country, they have their own problems. You travel to overseas, you thought it's a place of succor. If you get there, you know that the pressure there is even more than what is here. What do you have to do? Number one, you must keep on to encourage yourself every day. Because if you don't encourage yourself every day, then you want to kill yourself before your time. All kinds of things will set in. And if you keep on to get discouraged, the person may not last. May you last long on planet Earth. Whether you like it or not. That's the word I'm bringing to you this morning. You must encourage yourself. You must develop a system, a mechanism that even before you talk to people every morning, you first of all encourage yourself. If not, you will give up. And the only survivor, the only strength of mankind is God. The day you are discouraged, you will not be able to serve God because your spirit and your soul will not be able to connect anymore. Because you are broken. It's just like your antenna for your television. You decided to break it, or your satellite dish that is connecting you to watch your DSTV or any channel. You decided to destroy it. If you on the television, you will not be able to see anything. So what do you have to do now? You too must know how to speak to yourself. Many of us don't speak to ourselves. Many of us don't know how to resist all the things. All these things, Jesus called them temptations. If Jesus was tempted, there's no way you will not be tempted. Temptation will come, even if you are living in the sanctuary throughout your life. Sometimes we focus on a particular temptation. But let me tell you something, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we cannot have the same temptation. Your temptation will come as a result of your goal, vision, and your destiny. But you can suppress all if you keep on to encourage yourself. But if you don't encourage yourself, you feel betrayed, you feel discouraged, then that will be the end. I that I'm standing before you preaching to you, if I want to look at what I've encountered, then maybe I won't be a pastor anymore. Maybe I will have resulted into somebody doing a particular business. One of my sons came to me about 10 years or 10 or 15 years ago. We finished the service. And he walked to my office. And he said, "Daddy, I would like to be a pastor." I laughed. I said, "Are you sure?" I said, "You better go and pray very, very well." At times you believe, those pastors are lazy people. Who told you? Maybe those roadside pastors who are not called. Do you know what a pastor is? Then if you now be... So I told him, I said, "Man, please go out of my office." One of my sons is working at the bank now, sent me a message. God is calling him into the ministry. I just sent a message. I said, I'll see you later. He said, Daddy, I want to hear from you. I did not answer him. Can you withstand the pressure? Then if you leave the pastoral level, then the day God now call you a prophet, then trouble comes. I told one of my sons, we are here. When we are the other side, he was not yet a pastor. He just woke up one day and said he's a prophet. I said, you want to kill yourself. I said, I'm not trying to discourage you. You just want to kill yourself. I'm not surprised. Last year, somebody came to me and said the guy had passed on. I said, I told him. Many a times, a lot of us, they don't teach us and they don't tell us that the road will be very, very rough. Some of you are also in business sector because you have seen Mr. A, Mrs. B, the numbers of houses, the type of cars they are parking in front of their houses. You thought it was a day job and you wanted to go into such a venture. May I tell you, what will make you to survive is if you can encourage yourself throughout, because the road will be very, very rough. That was why the children of Israel, over 5 million people, Moses took out of Egypt. Men, 5 million men. Not talking about their wives and their children. So approximately, if we look at their wives, maybe 3 million women. Then children, maybe almost about 2 million. So automatically, 10 million people, they were the shoulders of Moses. They were in bondage for 430 years. I want to talk to you this morning now, so that you see things. And the moment Pharaoh said you can leave, jubilation started. May I tell you, that was the beginning of the journey. 10 million people, in my own paraphrase, only 2 people entered to the promised land. What happened to the rest people? Discouragements. They were discouraged. You see, I felt for many of us in Africa, and I felt I'm referring to something. When our political fathers got independence, everybody, they were jubilating. Freedom has come. Freedom has come. Do you know what is called freedom? Freedom means responsibility. So they were jubilating. In 1953, it's 1957, Ghana, isn't it? Everybody, they were jubilating. 1960, Nigerians, they were jubilating. The white men, they have gone. We have the independence. Look at the independence. Look at our life. 63, how many years Ghana now? 62 years. How many years is Nigeria now? How many years is Nigeria? You are not up to 60. You are heading 59. Now, 59 years old, 52 years old, 62, but things are not working the way it's supposed to work. Why? Because the moment we receive it, we thought we have received something that will make us to be great. We thought, oh, the chains have been loose. But we did not sit down to count the costs. And after that, so many things that we did not envisage started unfolding. It's just like a young man who wanted to start a life. Your masculine nature will be pushing you. What is it that I cannot do? What are they doing that I cannot do? It's not like that. It is when you now enter, you now see that what you did not plan start to surface. Just like a woman, because she started in her adolescent age, she has grown big and everything is there. She felt like, let me go into somebody's house and be a wife of somebody. When she started seeing what is envelope and what is inside marriage, then you start to see so many things coming. Some feel, that's why you see some will file divorce. Because you did not prepare. You don't know that all these things will happen. And they are bound to happen. Whether you go to church, you don't go to church. Whether you pray, you don't pray. You must be able to encourage yourself. Some of our leaders, this is where the problems are coming from. They just felt that I needed power. Let me be in charge. But they don't know that along the line, so many things will happen. That's life for you. And that's why you see confusion everywhere. Can't you see confusion? Are you telling me that the whole world is in a good order? Problem here, chaos there, bomb blast there, trouble there. How can you survive this generation or survive what is happening? You have to encourage yourself. If you don't encourage yourself, that person will go down. That was why Joseph, when they called upon him and they said the king would like to see, you see that he was fervent. Anybody telling you that the journey will be smooth, the road to success is very, very rough. Life itself is completely rough. It's only the dresses that we are putting on that is covering so many things. I have a way to assess a lot of, when you see a lot of women that they paint too much, put this, put that, put carry, it's a lie. Something is wrong somewhere. When you see some men too trying to pretend, something is wrong somewhere. Life is a chapter. Yesterday's chapter has been closed. Just open another chapter this morning. We have not closed. It's going to be closed by 12 a.m. You don't know what will happen in the next 2 minutes, in the next 1 hour, in the next 3 hours, in the next 5 hours. Anything can happen. How can you survive those things if those things happen? You have to develop a mechanism to encourage yourself. That's why Jesus Christ, I love him so much. He made it so clear when he was going in John 14 verse 27. We knew that he was the Son of God. But when he was going, he did not leave one dime for his disciples. The only thing he told them was that, look at what he said. Because he knew there would be trouble. He knew problem would come. He knew they would face a lot of things. And he said, what you need so much, if you are at peace, you can do mighty things. A precious seed in a place where there is no peace will die. Many are gone to their grave at their early stage based on the pressures of life. Yes. It's now time for a good preacher to tell the congregation, prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. It's just like a woman who has seen all her friends that has given birth. And she's also eager. I want to be pregnant. The D-Day is coming. The day of delivery. If you are able to prepare yourself, your delivery will be smooth and sound. Because you must pass through the pain. There is no way you cannot pass through the pain. So everything in life goes with it. If you don't encourage yourself, you are discouraged, then forget it. It's like a ship in the middle of the sea. And if you are not careful, it can be capsized. Am I communicating this morning? It's the same thing with our nation. It's the same thing with our homes. It's the same thing with our families. It's the same thing with our destiny. It's full of troubles. So if you don't prepare yourself, so I prepared myself. So that my son, after some time that I was telling you, who said he wanted to be a pastor, that's okay. I want to work for God. Now come. One day I went to his branch. And he came to me early in the morning. He said, Daddy, you remember many years ago I came to you. I said I wanted to be a pastor. I never knew that it's like this. That's what I told you. You thought it's just an easy thing. So that everybody just call you pastor. Pastor. Can't you see most of the pastors deceiving people? They are discouraged. That's why. Their estimation and aspiration was very big. They thought the moment they opened their ministry, it would be jam-packed with a lot of congregation. 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, they realize that things are not happening where it's supposed to happen. They start to mimic people. They start to call people to the corner. You pretend that you are crippled. You do this, you take this. You do this, you take this. That's what is happening. Because they fail to prepare. And they fail to encourage themselves to pass through. Can't you see our nation, our leaders? Which country in Africa, maybe about, if we are talking about maybe the Northern Africa, maybe I've not been there before, but I can tell you West Africa is zero. Why? because they entered, they saw it. It's bigger than them. It got to a point, they just said, well, let my turn of finish. Whatsoever happened is beyond me. And everything is just damage control. So that to cool the citizen down, because it's bigger than them. That's why you don't need to blame people now. You have to, you yourself, as you are growing in the journey of life, you witness it. But what can make you to sustain and still be vibrant? You encourage yourself. When you start to encourage yourself, joy starts to flow. Once joy starts to flow within you, ideas start to come. Your life will be at peace. And once your life is at peace, you can do mighty things. Even in the midst of that turmoil, you will still be achieving things. That's why Jesus Christ said in John 14, verse 27. Let's look at it. He said, peace I live with you. He didn't give money. My peace I give unto you. Not as the world giveth. The world will not give you peace. The world will trouble you. That's why those who are not running to God are missing. The world don't give peace. The world troubles man. Joseph was troubled. The day David was called from the forest, where he was taking care of his father's sheep. 1 Samuel 16 verse 13. The day oil was released upon him, a few days later they took him to Saul to be playing. That was the day his problem started. Saul took a javelin, wanted to kill him. That was the day the problem started. So I received anointing. Haven't you read that Jesus, after fasting for 40 days, he was led to wilderness to be what? Tempted by the devil. You don't understand. These are the things that they don't tell us. That's why some people say, oh, but God, this is what I'm praying for. You did not answer me. I'm fed up. I'm not going to that church. Oh, I will leave that church. I'm going to another church. You go to another church, it's still the same one God. Because the word anointing causes troubles. Yeah. David received anointing, problem arose. For good 40 years, sleeping in the cave, running on top of the mountain, going from one place. Had favor from Jonathan. Jonathan was bringing food from the palace. After some time, Jonathan could not provide food again. David was running. But he did not lose hope. Don't ever allow discouragement to be your Lord. It may not be easy. I must be frank with you. It may not be smooth. I must be frank with you. But in the midst of that difficulty, keep on encouraging yourself. The trophy will not be given to you until you have won. If you don't win, you can't carry the trophy. So that's life. So that's why Jesus Christ said, the world will trouble you. What? Jesus Jesus said the world, who are the people he was referring to as the world? Mutabin, an individual, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your stepbrother, your staff. Anybody can decide to trouble you. The devil can use that person to trouble you. Then he said, listen, don't look at that trouble, but consider my peace. Let my peace rest in you. Once my peace is resting inside you, the trouble will come, but you will overcome it. But if the peace of God is not there, the trouble will come and it will take the person away. Trouble will not take you away. So, at times, I always laugh. A beautiful gold must pass through fire. That is what many are running away from. You want to shine like a star? You must pass through fire. The 3 Hebrew boys did not shine in Babylon like that. Daniel did not shine like that. They passed through fire. They were thrown into the burning fury furnace. Daniel was thrown into the lion's den. But they were so much encouraged. They were so much determined. They did not lose hope. Paul and Silas, they were in prison. They were encouraging themselves. They were singing and they were clapping. You don't consider all these things, my sons and daughters. May I use this word before I round up this morning? Don't be in a haste. And may I use this word and talk to you, my sons and daughters. Don't deceive yourself. Where God does not put you, wait for Him to put you there. If you put yourself there, you will be rising and you'll be falling. You'll be rising and you'll be falling. You'll be rising and you'll be falling. After some time, a person will destroy himself or herself. But if you are able to wait, because the Bible says in Isaiah 40 verse 31, all those that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Go and study all the biblical characters. It was encouragement that made them to sustain their relationship with the Almighty. The day your relationship with the Almighty breaks, that's the end. So don't allow all the things in your environment, all what people have said about you, all what is going on in the political circle. Don't allow all those things to disturb your mind. Encourage yourself in the Lord. The more your link with God is steadfast, the more your supply is certain. But the day your link with God is not steadfast, that is the day your supply is cut off. May your supply not cut off. So tell your neighbor, encourage yourself in the Lord. It's about encouragement. Yes. You want to be a leader? Get ready for a sacrifice. What type of sacrifice? Pay so many things you carry. That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking of sacrifice that you are going to kill something. No. You want to be a father? Get ready for a sacrifice. You want to be a mother? Get ready for a sacrifice. You want to lead the nation? Get ready. You want everybody to know you? Get ready. You want to be a star? Get ready. Anything you want to become, get ready. Because the wind will blow. And you cannot stop the wind. But the only thing that can make you to survive, keep on encouraging yourself in the Lord. And you keep on to encourage yourself in the Lord. After some time, those things will pass. Life is in stages. Men are in sizes. Life is in phases. There will be a time you are in this phase. After some time you pass the test, the Lord push you to another one. After some time you pass the test, the Lord push you to another one. After some time you pass the test, the Lord push you to another one. The day you don't encounter any phase in life is the day you are not breathing again. But as long as you are still breathing, phase 1. That's why you see some people after building, they call it, they name it in phases. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Maybe somebody is in phase 10 now. Prepare for phase 11. If you have passed through your phase 11, prepare for phase 12. It's in stages. The day you don't want any phase anymore, that's the day you pack up. Yeah. I hope my word this morning strengthens somebody, rejuvenate somebody back. See those things you call problem as a stepping stone. They are bound to happen. But encourage yourself in the Lord. Your encouragement will make you to become a champion. And you will have a testimony. It is well with you. If you want to clap for Jesus, you clap very well. Rise up, walk to somebody, tell him or her, encourage yourself in the Lord. Encourage yourself in the Lord. Encourage yourself in the Lord.